What's up, Tampa Red? What's up, Tampa Red? Hello, hello. Hey, what's up, Tampa Red? What's up, Darcy? What's up, CDP? What's up, Ida Wallace? Oh, I ain't seen you in a good while, Ida. How you doing? Good to see you all today. Come on in the room. It's gonna be some light today. I have made my financial goal. The girls have been real good to me. I want to thank all the girls um, for just sending people over here. So I guess we all won this month, but I want to thank baby. I have reached my goal. So I may or may not come on in the afternoon or, when I'm leaving, because I made my goal, boo. It's good. So I want to thank the girls again. Um, like I said, y'all, I don't take this seriously. I have goals to make, and I made them. I made it. So, yeah. So I was, baby. I don't know. I had a trolling spirit on. I had a trolling spirit on me last night, and baby, Lemon over there. Oh, he's very fragile, and I went on over there and if you're gonna give somebody a compliment, just give them a compliment and no backhanded compliment. So because he's trying to make friends. Are you dumb? You don't do that on YouTube. I've been telling you you don't make friends on YouTube, right? So yeah, Vivian is doing really well. Yeah, she's doing well. But there are no friends on YouTube, boo. And so I guess Lemon is learning the hard way that these people don't give two flips about him and what's going on in his life, and all they're going to do is use him and move on. So I guess he made that connection. So he tried to give me a backhand compliment. So then I said, take your drunk ass to bed. Ooh, he didn't like that. He didn't like that. Ooh, and drunk again, and drunk again, and drunk again. I might add, and drunk again. So, baby, he did his big one. Ooh, he cursed and he screamed, and I'm sitting there laughing. I'm sitting there laughing. Hey, Vivian, I'm sitting there laughing because I'm like, this boy is crazy. And then two pikes of hair who need four pikes get in and stop piping in. And baby, she enjoys this banter. She really enjoys this banter. I think this is much attention she got from me since I launched her little channel. Ooh, she loved that little banter. So, I left there. I hear little Flame over there complaining about the OGs. Girl, are you dumb? You another one. You got all of this know-how and ingenuity, but your channel ain't popping. Nobody ain't coming over there to watch you. So why don't you use that advice that you're giving everybody for your channel? Maybe your channel will start popping. I'm just saying. I ain't even going into great detail, but it's that whining for me. It's that little, you know what I'm saying? That little whining for me. Okay. And so then something told me to just ignore Uppity when she sent me that poetry with Ness. And let me say this. It wasn't because I was going to read it. I felt that this was deeply personal. And I'm like, why is she trying to, put Ness's personal stuff out there? I know that they're fighting and stuff, but I didn't read it because of that reason, right? But come to find out that Uppity has been doing a whole campaign going from panel to panel to get people to read that poem. And I'm like, and Pizarro, I owe you an apology because you were reading it. And I'm like, oh, okay, but you was getting ready to get struck. So my apologies, girl. That's my bad. I didn't want to read it because I thought it was just too personal. So anyway, That was some more mess. Yeah, yeah. Uppity is not right. And my thing is, if she would focus on getting some teeth, and she would focus on, other things like her child and stuff, she would be in a much better position if she would focus on trying to be nice to them people in them apartments. But she focused on Ness. And let me say this: I don't know if Ness doxed her or not. They say that Ness put her address out, which she probably did. 'Cause, people do effed up stuff like that, right? But girl, nobody ain't coming to that apartment. I promise you, nobody ain't coming to that apartment. Maybe not in Brownsville. Oh hell no. So I think you're gonna be all right. Yeah, we know that. We know that. We know it. But see, this is the problem, Hershey. This is the problem. Her address ain't copyrighted. And so people will strike channels. And people's channels would have been lost had they posted or read that poem. So again, it is what it is. Okay, but people's channels would have been copyrighted, and then they would have had a copyright strike. Again, it is what it is. Ain't no victim, only volunteers. And Ness was crazy for trusting Uppity in the first place. Uppity don't have no friends, can't have no friends. The little sewing circle that she was in, she blew that to hell. I mean, because she's mental. She's mental. She's mental. So it is that both of them got issues, but it's what it is, baby. Baby, the girls are not well. They're fragile. They're fragile. So other than that, baby, the people have just been doing a whole lot. But I have made my goals. So since I have made my goal, not goals, but goal, I'm good. So y'all might not see me in it today, baby, because I think I'm gonna take off. Unless it's something really juicy going on. Yeah, they're gonna strike, but that's copyrighted material. So, I was getting ready to go over there to King Roman's channel, but baby, I mean, I see if the picture look bad and stuff, but I'm like, that's a good picture. I said, I ain't gonna strike that. And I mean, he did a side by side. I'm like, okay, so what? I'm 55 and still giving you a run for your money. Is that what it is? I'm 55 and got all my teeth, including the side teeth. Because you wasn't smiling, okay? You wasn't smiling. You was trying to be funny. But I tell you what, you didn't show them white teeth, right? Okay. Because he had that side tooth missing. Yes, Lord. You bashed it and I ain't even trying. Oh, baby. But I mean, I know I had the shirt first, so imitation is the greatest form of flattery. hmm So, baby, but people are fragile, and I guess I'm supposed to feel some kind of way. Now my boo done been evicted. Oh my God, I'm gonna call them today. I'm like, what the hell? You got an apartment I don't know about? You hosted two pikes a half that need four pikes at that apartment. I'm gonna find out the truth. I'm like, I ain't know you had an apartment on the side. Now y'all believe what y'all want to, but baby, these girls are tickling my spirit. Ooh, they hate Jay Wilson so much. Ooh, they hate Jay Wilson so much. We hate his house. We hate his water heater. We hate his cars. We hate his degree. We hate everything. Jay Wilson, Jay Wilson, Jay Wilson. We hate Jay Wilson. And baby, I'm sitting here sipping coffee, getting ready to go and start another day. I don't think I'm a heavy hitter. I just consistently do my content. That's it. Baby, just making up lies, Tampa Red. Cause they said he lived in an apartment. I'm like, for real though? Okay. I'm like, y'all get new intelligence that I don't even know. I'm like, okay, but okay, if you say so. Baby, they making it up, girl. They making it up. And see, this is what happens when you don't share your business, because they want to exploit me. That's what they want to do. They want to exploit me. That's why they want me to tell all my business so they can exploit me. Because, I'm exploiting everybody. Poe Tom and Castro getting exploited. Child, they was exploiting themselves when they clicked on that link. Child, anybody who come on my link from a hospital bed, bye-bye. So anyway, I'm exploiting people. Okay, whatever. What she get from it? Y'all, you know what? That's a weak person. Y'all support these weak people. Y'all support these weak people. This is what I don't get. And I will never be to the point where I got to do something like that. That is some weak stuff. So you get mad at me because I done hurt your feelings that got deep into your soul. So now that's what you want to do because you weak. That's why I laugh at these people, because that's some weak crap to me. Now, I don't know about y'all, but when you've lost a battle, that's what you do. That's the kind of stuff that you do. And so to me, it's like, it's weak. It's weak to me. And y'all support that weak mess. And y'all know everything that I have told that lady, has been game on, spot on. From Rob Racks to leaving folk alone so you don't go to jail. Baby, I done tried my best, but look, it is what it is. Now, MU said that she thinks she did that to Virgin not to pay her money back. Shut up what MU said. Okay, still owe that lady money. My God, today. And she better watch that. Tracy, that's protected information. Now let me call Great Clips and let them know what you're doing. Because you putting that company in jeopardy, girl. Okay. Okay. You keep on playing, girl. Because if you got that from the company, oh, man. I wish y'all had. Do y'all have that verbally? Because I might have to make a trip to that Great Clips and let them know what their former employee is doing with that information. My God, today, you better stop playing, girl. You're gonna go to jail again. You already had to go to Bexar County, and you know it ain't the most sanitary jail. So, girl, you keep on playing. Yeah, that's why you can't trust people like Tracy to work for you, honey. But anyway, it is what it is, baby. It's weak sauce. It is weak sauce. And it's sad. Anyway, so yeah, two pikes ahead at the 4 pikes is just acting really crazy. Like she's very manic or something. But y'all pray for her. Pray for her. Pray for her. Pray for her. But I tell you what, if I find that out to be true, I'll go to Great Clips myself and I'll let them know. I'm like, your former employee is divulging people's information. And I want you to know that if this is true, y'all might have a lawsuit. And let me say this. Let me be very clear. If this is that, I ain't worried about Tracy. Gray clips need to be concerned. That's who need to be concerned. See, because Teresa don't got shit. She don't have nothing, okay? So, baby, I ain't worrying about that. But if this is true, baby, it's Gray clips that need to be concerned. I'm telling you, girl, you're going to get your former employee, child. We sure ain't going to be an eviction after this, if it's true. And this is the thing. Why are you making fictional stuff up? That man never dated you. That man never ate lunch with you. All that man did was occasionally sit in your seat when his barber wasn't there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because again, they shouldn't be divulging information, and you don't give clients personal information. But I mean, we're gonna make a call. We're gonna make a call. Now, this is when I make a call. When people start doing unlawful stuff, that's when you make a call. So I'm gonna make a call, and I'm gonna see their policy on divulging clients' information. Yeah, we're gonna make that call. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Moving right along. What else has been going on, y'all? I just, it's funny to me. These people are so fragile. And this is the thing. They talk about me on a daily. And I'm just like, okay. But when you say one thing about them, ooh, they get hot as fish grease. No emotional intelligence. None of that. So anyway, it is what it is. Hello Dimples is offering money for March. Dimples, boo, be careful. Boo, be careful, boo. Be careful. That's all I can say. Dimples, be careful. They already know where you live, Dimples. Be careful. The most fragile people, I tell you, weak and fragile. Anyway, y'all, it's all good. Let these girls do what they think they're going to do. It is so sad that people have to go to this length. But it is what it is. And it's sad. It's sad. It's sad. But we live right and we keep on moving. Keep on moving. Anyway, what else is going on, y'all? I mean, because it all is showing that people are weak. And it ain't no way that I should be disrupting the YouTube streets like this when there's so many other things to talk about. So many other things to talk about. But I mean, I guess it's that water heater. I mean, ever since that water heater and stuff been changing and stuff, I mean, because of a water heater and a water softener, and the girls was really pressed when they saw it. Okay, it was like they saw it happening and they was pressed. I'm like, you pressed over a water heater, this? Oh my God. They pressed over a water heater, girl. Girl, they pressed over a water heater. But I ain't gonna lie, that water heater is all that. If you all have not gotten a tankless water heater, please get one. It will change your life. So I love my tankless water heater. It keeps water hot all times. You know, you don't need that tank. And it really saves on space. So anyway. Yeah, this is why I say it ain't no friends on YouTube. Baby, these girls are diabolically, inherently, let me say this. Let me say this for in the real scheme of things. A lot of these people really want to be nice. A lot of these people really have good hearts. And if you would meet them outside of YouTube, they might be different people. They might be. But I think a lot of these people have been hurt. They're suffering from childhood trauma that they haven't dealt with, rejection, and abandonment. And if they liked you at once and things go south, or any little inkling of you not really going along with their program, they get really upset. They really get upset. And it's a lot of mental issues going on, and it's a lot of emotional issues going on. And I really feel sorry for them because they really want to be nice. When I first met Tracy, she was a troll. And she was very vile and vulgar. So I just blocked her, right? But then she said the Lord done spoke to her heart, and she was all apologetic and all of this stuff. And I believed it because I truly believe that Tracy loves the Lord. But Tracy got some issues that she needs to deal with. Tracy told me personally that she really tries to not get angry, but when she does, all she can see is red, and even her mama can't tell her nothing. That says it all. So it is what it is, you all. Just pray. This is why you can fight at a funeral and don't have no issues. This is why you go to jail. And it's just a lot of stuff. Baby, it's a lot of stuff. And I just, try to look out. Lord, I didn't want her to go see Rob Rags. I'm like, oh my God, I know what this is going to be about. It's going to be about embarrassing Black women over here from the beef sector to make them look stupid. That's what I felt. But you can't tell nobody nothing, right? And exactly how I predicted it, it happened. And Tracy tried to save face to say that she was okay. But really, all in all, she was not okay. And the hotel room, when the police, Jesus, came knocking on the door, this man had a firearm in that room. And I'm like, girl, what are you doing? And I really feel sorry for Niece. I really do. I don't hate that lady. I really don't. But she has really big issues. And it seems like the people who really try to reach out to help, she really has issues with. But anyway, baby, it is what it is. She's a grown woman. She does what she wants to do. What she really wanted, though, see, this is what she really wanted. I know I'm doing all of this crazy mess, but I don't want you to talk about it. Because if you talk about it, then you ain't my friend. The devil is a liar. If you put it out there, we're going to discuss it. Period, point blank. And so she had issues with that. But had she listened to the suggestion in the first place, but like I said, you going all the way to California, blowing in the pipe. Baby, starting a truck by blowing in a tube would have been enough for me. It would have been like, okay, let me go ahead and get me another hotel room. This ain't going to work out. I would have had another itinerary, all in California. Would have been down at the Redwood Forest. Okay, would have been at the Santa Monica Pier. Okay, the Hollywood side. All they did was sit up in there and order chicken, and eat. Girl, my God, today. Let me drink my coffee. Because every time I think about that foolery, it just get me mad again. It get me mad again. It get me mad again. All that foolery. Oh, yeah, we need to, that big, beautiful bill. That big, beautiful. Yeah, I'm speaking truth. Yeah, I'm speaking truth. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. We saw it. You can't tell nobody. We saw it. So it ain't nothing to make up for. Yeah, child, I saw the dog. It's cute. I saw the dog. It's cute. He does have a nice dog. Ate the last piece of chicken. Child, y'all fighting over chicken. Let me move on. That should be enough right there. Child. And then you my age doing this kind of stuff. I'm like, but baby, that's what you want to do. Do what you got to do. But don't get mad when people call it out, and it's true. Now, people can lie roast all day long, but it is what it is. Y'all pray for people. So anyway, but yeah, you all, they're trying to pass this bill. And let me say this, and I know this is off this, but this is why we do what we do. Baby, when I tell you, when they pass this bill, rural hospitals are going to be no more. If you are on special assistance, you're going to have to work. It's getting ready to get bad. Do you all not know that Google and Amazon and FedEx are cutting jobs left and right? Do you not know that hospitality workers in Las Vegas are losing jobs left and right? And nobody ain't saying nothing. Do you not know these farms are shutting down because they don't have enough people? Car washes are shutting down because none of those workers are coming to work for fear of being deported. Do you know it's against the law to have a mask on your head and taking people out without due process? Y'all, it's crazy. It's crazy. And so, uppity girl, you sitting up there living like you the grand dame, but baby, you might be out there housing if Trump has anything to do with it, because he don't like poor people anyhow. He sure don't like poor black women. He don't like black women, period, but especially poor black women. Child, y'all better get it together. Yeah, there's a lot of people that's gonna be in trouble. It's sad. And now, let me tell you what I can't stand. I can't stand a Republican who will vote yes and then quit. Vote yes and then quit. Kudos to John McCain, who said no, thumbs down. Come on, John McCain. Now, I may not like John McCain's politics and how he did his first wife, but baby, he put that thumbs down because he had at least enough decency to know that people need health care. Yeah, black farmers are getting, yeah, black farmers are getting the brunt of stuff too. Y'all, there's so much going on. If it's not with these the deportation, and let me say this, Lindsey Graham is a hot mess as well. He's a hot mess, and he was so much against Trump. Now he's kissing Trump behind, and if he does anything that is not pleasing to Trump, Trump will call him out. Honey, Miss Lindsey is a mess. She's a mess. And let me say this, you all, when y'all produce start going up, I'm telling you, say what you want about immigrants, they are hardworking people. And I want the companies to go to jail like the immigrants. I want them to get the CEO and send him off to prison, because these people would not be working at those companies if the CEO and the people were not hiring them. Stop blaming the immigrants and let's look at where the problem lies. America loves cheap labor. Period. Period. So anyway, all this YouTube stuff, y'all right. There's a lot going on. But at the end of the day, we need to really focus on what's really important, because this will affect all of us. All of us. What you do to the least, you'll do to the greatest. All of us. So just because you're middle class and sitting pretty in your palace, don't think that it can't happen to you. Black people, let me say this. I understand that we sit pretty and watching everything happens, because again, you know, nobody ain't stood, and I get it. Nobody ain't staying with us. We've been telling y'all this for years. It's always been the black people. Y'all need to get over it. Y'all always complaining. Y'all always talking about police brutality. Nobody ain't do nothing, right? So now black people sitting back and folk getting mad. But what I am saying is black people are watching this, and I'm telling you, we ain't dumb. Oh, we know if it happens to y'all, it'll happen to us. We ain't dumb. We see. We see. But what we're not gonna do is get out there so it can happen quicker. Because what the argument is now is that nobody said anything. They came for us, and black people have been saying things for years, and nobody came. Now it's happening to you, and everybody wants to blame black folk. I mean, we get blamed for Kamala Harris, and we ain't had nothing to do with that. Black people voted for Kamala Harris. Latinos, y'all did. Baby, in South Texas and the Rio Grande, they voted for. So how are black people responsible for your voting? See, this is what I don't get. How are black people responsible for your voting? See, you didn't think it was going to be your family. It's always them other people, not knowing that you are those other people. Let me tell y'all something. These people done got y'all so confused that they have white Hispanic and black Hispanic. Like, what is that? What is that? What is that? Because in this administration, Spanish is Spanish. Spanish is Spanish. So again, black people did their part and went to the poll. Y'all sat there and believed that man and everything he said. And now he's showing you all what he said. Not only him, but those white Christian nationals don't want y'all here either. And then the nerve of folk to think that black people was going to work farms, you got to be crazy. So again, this is what you get for believing the notion that these people have given you all, because y'all don't understand. Y'all black too, according to them. I don't know why y'all playing that y'all think y'all accepted. Birthright no more. And the sad part about it is our Constitution is being stepped on. It's being stepped on. Whenever you bring Marines, and y'all know what Marines do. The Marines are the first to go out. The Marines there's a fighting element. I mean, the fighting element of the armed services. And you put them on the streets of LA for American people. That man don't care about American citizenship. He don't. All he cares about is not saying anything bad about me. And we got Trumpians sitting right here in the beef sector. They just don't know it. Because anytime you say something about them, baby, they get so angry. That's correct. If you are not white Christian, then you ain't a part. Why y'all think they dealing with all of these laws? Marriage rights. Freedom of choice rights. And let me say this. Do you all see the chain reaction? Now, no one is coming to the United States for vacation. All of this travel is mostly domestic travel. But baby, the people from Germany, the people from Great Britain, the people from Ireland, the people from Canada, they ain't coming to the United States. They may not be able to get home. They may be deported. And now people are telling their fellow countrymen not to come to the United States. When Disney is reporting losses and a reduction of folk coming, when hotels are not being booked, it's all because of this. This man is not a great businessman. I do not know why folk don't do their research. He bankrupt companies. The only thing he is good at is giving his name and letting people think that he is some kind of business guru. And The Apprentice only pushed him up. That man has bankruptcies around. He didn't even pay his contractors, you all. He would find something that they may have done to stiff them. That's the kind of person he is. So, y'all, let me tell you, my cousin was in Germany, and baby, they called her 2 weeks before she was supposed to. They said you gotta leave, boo, honey. Baby, they telling Americans, okay, y'all come over here, but y'all gotta leave. Y'all gotta leave. She said that she was on that flight from Germany going to Orlando, Florida. She said that plane that flew at least about 300 people only had 90 people on board. 90 people on board. And I'm afraid that some of these major airlines like Delta, and that's my company, but honey, Miss Delta will, one thing, let me say this about Delta. I got to give Delta their props. Delta hates to let people go. They will furlough people, let them find another job, and call them back in a year or two. Now you got to do them drug tests, because Miss Delta says that we don't know. She's going to do a background and a drug test on you. She ain't going to bring you back without drug testing you and checking to see if you done did some criminal. But Miss Delta will hire you back. Now, she does furloughs because she doesn't like to lose people. So, the airline industry, y'all, is very volatile. This is the thing. People don't understand that if the gas prices go up, flights will be cut, and they will double flights if it's bad. So Delta is dealing with weather right now because Miss Atlanta is getting hit with bad weather right before the 4th of July. So, it is some deep stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a lot of things going on. Not just Europe, but Caribbean. Yeah, even in the Caribbean. Yep. So, yeah, we losing a lot of money. I'm really pissed off about that parade too. You spent $45 million on a lackluster parade that the people in the armed services didn't even want to be in. You put those pilots' life at stake in bad weather, knowing what kind of space that the DCA airspace is in, just to act like you were in France, and then you were pissed off about it when they didn't give you what you wanted. Baby, they don't march like that. We are not North Koreans. Do you not know that they have a special guard just for that in North Korea? Okay? Do you know they have a special guard and that's all they do? Our people don't be doing all that marching and bouncing and all of that stuff. We don't do that. Our military has been tested, boo. Can I say that again? Our military has been tested. We don't have to show all of that propaganda. And see, that's the problem. When people got to show it and flash it and do all of this stuff and da-da-da-da-da-da-da, yeah. $45 million could have been used in the Department of Education, but yet you spend it on that. You don't want to relieve people in their student loans. You don't want to do provide child care for working adults trying to make it, but you spend $45 million on a parade that nobody hardly showed up for, and it was lackluster at that. I didn't even watch it. Couldn't even tell you what happened at the beginning and the end. Didn't even watch it. But yet you spent $45 million on it. They did. They did. And the tanks were squeaking. My God, today. And what they don't realize is that the No King protest was bigger than his protest. Where I live is red. It's kind of red with a little hint of blue, but it's kind of red. Baby, that No King's march was so big. That's probably about the biggest protest they had in that town. Yeah, Vashti. And again, we questioned Kamala Harris. And you let me say this. I would have rather had Kamala Harris any day. Here we are as Black people, some of us questioning her resume, questioning is she fit to be president. But yet, do you think we would be in half of the mess if we had Kamala Harris in office? Hell no. Hell no. But this is what you get for being racist. This is what you get for being sexist. How can you union people vote against your interest? This man is anti-union. Always happened. How could you vote against your interest? Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were the only administration, even out of the Obama administration, to walk the picket lines with the unions in support of collective bargaining. And you all go and vote for a man who applauds Elon Musk for busting the unions? Interesting. Interesting. Let me tell you something. Kamala Harris is an intelligent woman. I don't care what these people say. You don't become the Attorney General of California by nothing. Do y'all know that California, if it was a country by itself, would have probably the 5th largest economy? Do you not know that California and New York takes care of most of these red states? See, they don't tell you that, but these red states are very badly managed. Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas, all of these states are very, very badly managed. And if it wasn't for the blue states, some of these red states would be at a deficit. At a deficit. We don't get that. Then they want to say Kamala Harris slept her way up to the top. Okay, baby, if she slept her way to the top, she had to stay there. See, you can only sleep your way there, but you can't stay there. Sleeping ain't going to keep you there. And I know a lot of people tried to come at her with that. But baby, it can get you in, but it can't keep you in. And I don't believe she slept her way to the top. I believe she did what she needed to do. And one other thing I'm going to say, and I know it's going to be bad, but I am, because certain people are comfortable with people of a lighter hue, that may have helped. Yeah. See, yeah. I know y'all don't. Herman Cain ain't have a chance in hell, a snowball chance in hell to win the presidency, because baby, he's too dark. And I mean, it's sad, but that's how these people are, because that's threatening to them as well. Oh yes. And let me say this, what I'm saying has proof behind it. There is proof behind it. Yeah, it's proof behind it. But again, a sister is a sister. But we know that some of these folk feel comfortable. That's why these light-skinned servants were in the house, because people felt a little bit more comfortable with them. And that the other folk was up in the field. We understand, we get it. We get it. We don't want to realize it, but you know, people still have that mentality. I'm just saying. And this Jim Crowism and this racism divides Black people even to this day. Even to this day. You know, you got people of a darker hue that gets discriminated against left and right. Then you get these people of a lighter hue who don't really fit in with white folk, but Black people don't feel comfortable with them either because they feel like they're not Black enough. So they go through. I mean, and it's all because of not Black people. Not Black people. It's because of chattel slavery and what they did. Yeah. And unfortunately, some people who are lighter hue get the privilege because, again, look at Storm Thurmond's daughter. Even though he didn't claim her, he made sure that she went to college. And a lot of these plantation owners set their slaves up really well. Child, let me tell you something. And then if you can pass, you could pass. It is a very alive and well in 2025. And I don't, let me say that, I don't blame people of a lighter hue because they can't help it. They can't help it because one night, the same person who considered them to be an animal took advantage of them. What are you going to do when your life could be lost if you didn't do it? It's a lot of people. What's his name? The governor, Douglas Wilder. If you don't think Douglas Wilder is a product of slavery, baby. But let me tell you what I like about Douglas Wilder. Yes, Douglas Wilder is a light-skinned Black man. He's of a lighter hue. But baby, when I tell you, when he opens his mouth, you know good and well who he is. I applaud Douglas Wilder because even though he was fair complexion, he couldn't go to Virginia Commonwealth. He couldn't go to UVA. He couldn't go to Virginia Tech. He couldn't go to William and Mary at the time. He had to go to Virginia Union. Shout out to Virginia Union. Shout out to Virginia State. Shout out to Hampton University. Shout out to Virginia University Lynchburg, which nobody ever talks about, but I'm talking about them. Shout out to, like I said, Norfolk State. Shout out to St. Paul's College that closed, but St. Paul's College. I ain't forgetting the ones that closed either. But y'all know what? Now, I ain't trying to be messy. Excuse me. But I did not know the University of District Columbia was older than Howard. Now, I know that's going to cause a lot of consternation with people because Howard is the premier HBCU in DC and in the country. But I didn't know UDC, University of District Columbia, was established before Howard. And UDC has some good programs. They have a good PhD program, but it's the University of the District of Columbia. I did not know UDC was older than Howard. I just wanted to bring that up. I'm just saying. It's an old school. And they act like the school is new and brand new, but its history is older than Howard. I just wanted to say that. Let me move on with that because I don't want nobody from Howard sending me hate mail. But anyway, now my school is a young, well, I shouldn't say Norfolk State is a young HBCU. Norfolk State actually evolved from older HBCUs. So NSU was a branch of Virginia Union first. Then it became the unit of Virginia State. And from that, it grew larger than Virginia State. And then it was established at its own college in 1935. But yeah, people may not agree, but that's why I don't do the colorism debate. You know, it's a lot that goes on with that colorism. You know, we have, it's deep because we have dark people and light people in our family. Our family is mixed. And I love my brothers and sisters the same. It don't matter to me. That's my blood. And I do understand the plight of someone who is of a lighter hue, because they're not accepted by anybody, hardly. And they always got to prove themselves or feel like they got to prove themselves to the Black community. But they have to realize that they do have certain privileges that their darker brothers and sisters may not have. But then I got to realize that darker skin is frowned upon by those powers that be. And it wasn't Black people who did it. And that's what we got to realize. And let me say this, Darcy, I love the Rainbow Coalition, but it's racism there too. And at the top of that food chain is white men. And they take over everything. They done took over. This is why the trans community can't stand gay men, but especially white gay men. The trans girls feel that they were the ones targeted. Poor Black and trans people got their ass whooped at Stonewall, while the white gay men were upstairs partying, getting their whole ass whipped, laughing at the trans girls getting their ass whipped. Trans girls lost their jobs and stuff, and we don't realize that the T is where all of this stuff jump started in the first place. And to this day, you see how people talk about the trans girls. Now, I know I said transmission, and again, that was no slight. It was like they are on a mission. But the trans girls, yeah. And they have a reason to be upset, because if it wasn't for them, there wouldn't have been a Stonewall riot. And again, that was a Black phenomenon. How the white folk act like they the one who was getting beat down at the club. And then they take it over. So there's a documentary about Marjorie Major or something. I cannot think of her name, but she's out of Arkansas. And she is a trans activist out of Arkansas, of all places. And baby, she was like, well, how them gays today? Because she was upset. And she read them for filth. Who's the person on Drag Race, the white guy on Drag Race? Because honey, she read. And she told him, Marsha Major, I think. But she read them. Oh, Marsha, yeah. But this lady is out of Arkansas. And all I can remember is Major. But they did a documentary. And she really, very articulate, she remembers Stonewall. She talks about it. She was saying how everything was hijacked. And it's because, you know, even within the, and it's really funny that people want to harp upon the same gender loving, because they don't get it. And I'm not trying to make people get it. So you got a man who likes touching men and sleeping with men, but he's trying to make light because I say same gender loving. Major Griffin Garcia, that's her name. Thank you for helping me out. Thank you for helping me out. Very, very thank you. Thank you for helping me out. That's her name. That is her name. It's a very good documentary. Major Griffin Garcia. That's her name. Major Griffin Garcia. Very articulate, very smart person, very intuitive person. And so she talks about that. And I just think that it's really interesting to hear her assessment, because white men have, not all, but a lot of gay white men, not all of them, but a lot of them have a misperception about black men being mandingos and being their sex toys and something to take care of. And that's their thoughts. In their 20s, they don't want nothing to do with a black man. In their 30s, they'll run to a Hispanic man. And then when they get 40 and older, then they want a black man. And see, let me say this, you all. It's there. It's there. The racism is there. And it's subtle hints, and you gotta check people. So while people up there talking about some, you ashamed of who you are, talking about some same gender loving and all of that, this just shows you how ignorant you are. First of all, there is a black pride and there is a white pride. Chicago has a big black pride. New York has a big black pride. LA has a big black pride. Houston has a big black pride. Atlanta, sure enough, has a big black pride. Detroit don't have no other choice but to have a black pride. And this is where black people can get together and express themselves and be empowered. And so same gender loving, if you would go look that up, same gender loving derived from black men who did not want that gay, because they felt that that was white and it didn't cover everything. And so a black man came up with same gender loving, because it's same gender and loving, because everything ain't about gay, which is really derived to only sex. And Philadelphia does as well. Okay, Catherine. So when we act like same gender loving is a way of not saying gay, you're ignorant, because you don't know. And this is why I don't talk about gay issues to non-gay and ignorant folk. And let me say this too. Honey, you can talk about gay people, but baby, you would not have television, you wouldn't have good choirs, you wouldn't have a lot of stuff if it wasn't for gay people. Martin Luther King would not even have his I Have a Dream speech if it wasn't for a gay black man. Baby, there would not be unions if it wasn't for a gay black man who helped the Pullman brothers, the porters, those guys who worked on the train. You would not have the Harlem Renaissance if it wasn't for gay black men. And I know y'all don't want to hear this, but a lot of the jazz scene was gay black. Let me say this, the music scene right now, with all of the hip hop and all of this rap, baby, Diddy them gay. Now, the sad part about it is they don't want to admit it. So it is what it is. It is what it is. I laugh at these people. Baby, you wouldn't have fashion. You wouldn't have fashion. You wouldn't have a lot of stuff. And it's really sad. Let me tell you what a lot of people do. A lot of women, not all, but a lot of women know that the men used to get them together, used to beat their face. And they would kiki with them in the shop. But when they would see them out in the open, they would get with their friends and kiki with the friends about them. Instead of saying, no, that's a talented person. That person does my hair. That person is talented. So again, a lot of stuff comes out with that. I'm sorry. It's a lot of gay men that done took people to prom who know that they couldn't pull nobody else for prom. And it was the gay, baby, it was the gay boys who took some of these people to prom. And everybody want to say that, ooh, y'all be coming for these straight men. No, 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 no. How many gay boys done got beat up in school and come to find out they did because the boy was having relations? Oh, I can tell you the stories. Now, let me tell you something. I was blessed that I didn't have to go through all of that. Because when you have a talent and when you can sing and when you're a little bit bigger than other folk, they don't bother you. But there were some guys who were uber feminine. And the boys used to beat them up, but then come over their house and want a hunch. It's a lot of lesbians. Elder Waters was with chicks at the beginning. Mom Mabley, Bessie Smith. Baby, it's a lot of lesbians. Okay? Don't you ever get it twisted. And the only reason why we don't know because they didn't have no internet. Baby, you go up into that gospel and see, we always think that gospel is gay men. Baby, gospel is lesbians too. Y'all don't know? Gospel is lesbian women too. Lesbians can sing. Look at the Davis sisters from Philadelphia. Oh, don't get Catherine started. I don't know about that, but honey, the Davis sisters in Philadelphia was the baby. If you didn't think Baby Ruth wasn't no lesbian and a stud at that, but let me tell you something. I don't care how stud she looked. Baby Ruth could sing her butt off. Look up the Davis sister. Okay, y'all didn't know that Sister Rosetta Tharpe was dating Marie Knight. Marie Knight was a big gospel singer, and her and Rosetta Tharpe used to collaborate together. Okay, you better recognize. And how many of y'all think that some of these preacher women straight? Baby, they got a preacher woman now, honey. She be wearing suits and stuff. She almost look like Farrakhan's brother. Okay, and be preaching and be child by. This is why I look at people and I'm like, okay, whatever. Half of these preachers were gay. Let me tell y'all something. God rest the dead. But I lived in Ohio, and there were some major churches with some major gay preachers. So again, we're already seeing with this situation now with this bishop, that's going to be a hot mess because Bishop now is fighting back. But yeah, child, let me tell you about them caravans. Mickey Howard messed her mama up. So Mickey Howard's mother is Josephine Howard. And Josephine Howard was a part of the musical group, the Caravans. Now, it has always been rumored that the Caravans, not all of them, but some of them were same gender loving. Gay, lesbian, whatever you want to call it, right? But no one really verified it until Mickey Howard came on. Now, Mickey Howard, mom sang with the Caravans, and she was a soprano in the Caravans. And Mickey Howard said, yeah, my mama was a lesbian. And baby, when she said that, I almost fell out because I'm like, baby, you putting everybody's stuff out. Now, let me tell you who I don't believe that's a lesbian in that group, and I could be wrong. But baby, I don't believe Inez Andrews would even want a part of that. She just sang and she just knew. I just believe that. I don't believe Inez Andrews. Yeah. It's some people like, they just don't even give me that. But again, I'm not there. It disappears. Oh, I don't know why your name disappears. Oh my God. I don't know why it disappears. So anyway, y'all, we talked about such an array of things, but y'all, yeah, it is racism in the LGBTQIA community. They will get together on certain things, though. One thing I will say about the community, though, when it comes to marriage and stuff that's affecting the community, they will get together on that. But you better believe that there is racism in that community as well. And this is why you have Black Pride and Black clubs and stuff, because the dominant culture always wants to control. They don't want to give anybody else any prop, any play. So this is why, you know, that situation is like that. But yeah. So Mickey Howard, I think she was on Unsung, and I think it was Unsung. Oh, I love Unsung. So Unsung presented that. So yeah, Unsung, Mickey Howard. And let me tell you who the only person who had not had a really bad story was Shirley Murdoch. And you know, you think you gonna hear something bad with Shirley Murdoch with all of them husband songs and I Can't Go On Without You and As We Lay. Oh, okay. But baby, Shirley was church girl, and Shirley was married to her high school sweetheart, and she's still married to him. Now, who is this? Who is this? What's the name? Yeah. So, but let me say this. Shirley Murdoch was the only one who didn't go through a whole lot of mess. No, baby, I can't see your name. I can't see your name, girl. Oh my God. All I see is the @ symbol. Now, what's your screen name? Oh my God. Baby, there's a lot going on in Hollywood. They say Kim Whitley. Ooh, y'all remember, and I think they took this roast off because this roast was so, let me tell you who can roast. Oh, Rainy Bo. Yes. Yes, we need to see that. Rainy Bo. Yes. Oh my God. All I see is an @ signal on Rainy Bo. Oh my God. Oh my God. So Rainy Bo, please do that. I am so sorry. I don't know. YouTube just did all of this and I don't know why. So Rainy Bo, please let me know, because there may be somebody who's like you. And if you find out, could you please let me know? But let me tell y'all about that roast, baby. Cheryl Underwood is the baddest roaster. You hear me? And Cheryl Underwood did a roast. She went for Kim Whitley. She said allegedly Kim Whitley slept with the OJs and Levert. She said, Kim Whitley, I know your tea, B. Ooh, let me tell you something. When I tell you Cheryl Underwood went for Kim Whitley, she went for Earthquake. Ooh, Earthquake was so mad. He was laughing, but he was mad as hell. Honey, she went for Tommy Davis. Baby, when I tell you Cheryl Underwood did not come to play, and they took that roast down, because when I tell you Cheryl Underwood was roasting and reading the girls for filth, Cheryl Underwood is very underrated. I like Cheryl Underwood. I don't care what nobody say. I like Cheryl Underwood. I do. And baby, when I tell you Cheryl reads the girls for filth, honey, when I tell you I was gagged, Cheryl Underwood went and read the girls. You hear me? It touched them in their spirit. You could tell Earthquake was mad. You can tell Tommy Davidson. And of course, at the roast, they gonna give you this fake laugh. But baby, you know, ooh, Earthquake. She said, an earthquake. Ooh, she went. I think they took it off. But if somebody had that, could y'all please send that to me? Because I think YouTube took that off. But when I tell you Cheryl, and then Cheryl, let me tell you now, Cheryl read the hell out of Flame Monroe. And I think they took that off too. Now, I mean, Flame Monroe can roast. But honey, when I tell you Cheryl read Storm Monroe for filth, Storm Monroe. And I think they were at a comedy situation, and I think Storm Monroe came for Cheryl. Honey, when I tell you that Cheryl Underwood read Monroe for filth. Ooh, she said with them hard boulder titties, and you want to talk about, honey, Cheryl went in. So anyway, it was deep. And I like Flame, but Cheryl wrote, baby, when I tell you Cheryl read Flame Monroe for filth, honey, I was like, damn. Yes, she did. So, yep. And I think they took that off as well. Not Flame Monroe, not Storm. No, not Storm. I'm sorry, y'all. Flame Monroe, not Storm. Thank you, Catherine. So it was Flame Monroe, not Storm. Hold on for a minute, y'all. Comic View has it. But baby, when I tell, hold on for a minute, y'all. Oh, okay, y'all, I'm back. Let me tell y'all something. Unsung was the bomb. You hear me? I love some Unsung. So, but like I said, y'all, Cheryl Underwood was beast. She's beast. She's beast. Even when she was doing, Monique. And let me say this again, y'all. I know that people have issues with Monique, but you can't deny Monique's talent. Let me say this. The best BET awards have been with Monique. Baby, let me tell you, when Monique did that Beyonce, Crazy in Love, baby, Monique, baby, you can't beat Monique. Monique and Whoopi Goldberg, they do award shows, boo. They do award shows. Let me tell you something. Monique, when she did Beyonce, she said, okay, Beyonce, girl. You know, Monique, okay, Beyonce, girl. Let me tell you who else. Jamie Foxx does a serious. Jamie Foxx and what's his name? He does he's the African Godfrey. Baby, Jamie Foxx and Godfrey, they have to do the best impersonation. Honey, when I tell you Jamie Foxx can do Little Richard, he can do Monique. Hey, babies. Hey, sweet babies. Baby, let me tell you something. Jamie Foxx and then Godfrey does a mean Donald Trump, and he does a mean what's the man who used to write for Richard Pryor? Paul Mooney. Woo, baby, Godfrey sounds just like Paul Mooney. Oh my God, Jamie Foxx, Paul Mooney, Monique, and Whoopi just does a good award show. I don't know. Let me tell you, people didn't like Whoopi I liked Whoopi when she first came out. Whoopi was doing Jumpin' Jack Flash, Fatal Beauty. It was like Whoopi was doing a movie every week. So Whoopi is solid when it comes to movies and all of this. So yeah, it's a lot of people who don't get their props. So, yeah. So yeah, y'all, what else is going on? But yeah, y'all, we need to be very concerned about what's going on in our nation. It's going to affect people of low wealth. It's going to affect the middle class people. I don't think middle class people think they're going to be affected, but you are. We are. And I think we need to be ready for it. I think if you're on any public assistance, I think you need to be concerned. If you're on any public assistance, you need to be concerned. I don't think that they're gonna I think they're gonna I think that they're going to come for the elderly. I don't even think the elderly people are immune. I mean, Meals on Wheels, they trying to cut Meals on Wheels. Do you not know Meals on Wheels is the only meal that some of these people get, and the only human contact that some of these people get? These elderly people? Some more is good. So, Boo, for my birthday, it was right after COVID. So it had to be 2023. But Boo took me to see some more. I think it was Lavelle Crawford. And baby, Lavelle was funny. And I saw Bruce recently. So this last birthday, and y'all, I love my dude. Baby, he took me to Bohannon's. And when I tell you that Wagyu steak was so good. And then from Bohannon's, he took me to see Wanda Sykes. And then the next day, we saw Bruce. We would have been able to see Angela Johnson. He wanted to do Angela Johnson, but the tickets were sold out. I think Godfrey does a better. I think Godfrey does a better Paul Mooney. Ari Spears does him as well, but I think Godfrey does a good Paul Mooney. And let me tell you something. Paul Mooney is another man who just did not play. Paul Mooney did not play. And let me tell y'all something. Paul Mooney looked good until the end. Paul Mooney looked good until the end. Now, I know there's a lot of controversy surrounding his legacy, but baby, Paul Mooney was a good-looking man to the end. Paul Mooney was a nice-looking guy. He really took care of himself. So, yeah. Samora is really good. She was the MC for the comedy show. And this comedy show was actually held at the Tobin Theater, which is a nice theater. So the nicest theaters in San Antonio is the Majestic. They have a lot of big Broadway shows at the Majestic and the Tobin Center of the Performing Arts. Yeah. So then they have the Ratchet stuff at the Aztec. So all the Ratchet concerts is held at the Aztec or the AT&T Center. I don't think anything has been held at the Alamo Dome. Yeah. So anyway, y'all, what else is happening? So this is what we do. So we talked a little bit about the beef sector stuff and what's going on there. Yada, yada, blase, blase. But I really am glad that you all directed me towards what's really going on. Our LGBTQIA people, you all need to be alert and aware because they're coming for you all as well. If you are not Christian and if you're not white, and a man, yeah, you can hang it up. You can hang it up. I heard now that Trump is getting ready to come for Tulsi Gabbard. And let me tell you something, it ain't no friends with Trump. See what I'm saying? And for the mere fact, I think Tulsi Gabbard, she hurt herself when she went against Trump when it came to the Iranian enrichment facilities. And when she said that she doesn't think that the attack did any significant damage. And baby, when she went against him, ooh. And why does he always want things to be better than it is? Now we're going to go against the intelligence. It's just interesting. Yeah, it's a lot of things going on, y'all. I want y'all to watch the Boondocks when it comes to the Tyler Perry thing and watch the Boondocks when it comes to the Ghetto Thug thing with Riley. Oh my God. The Boondocks was way ahead of its time. And I think the Boondocks knew a lot of stuff. And I think a lot of people gave the Boondocks a lot of information because now a lot of these things are coming to pass on the Boondocks. Yes, Lord. So, anyway, y'all. Well, look, it was real. Thank y'all for coming on. And we didn't have to have a panel today because I don't have to have a panel. And I talk about things that interest me. And it is what it is. That's all I'm saying about that. You all, yeah, Rada lives, I meant what I said. We ain't trying to dox nobody. We trying to do our thing and we going home. We ain't doing all of that foolishness. We leave that to the girls to be foolish and do foolish things. So, yeah, what's up, Miss Douglas? Yes, everybody have a great day at work. They did one on Climax. They did one on a lot of the girls. Unsung has been like a lot. They did one on Denise Williams. Did they do one on Stephanie Mills yet? Oh, the Simpsons did too. Yeah, I heard the Simpsons is going off, and I heard Marge didn't make it. They said Marge is in heaven. So Marge Simpson, they said, didn't make it. But Michelle A., I still can't get over her voice. But honey, they said Michelle A. was a force to be reckoned with, even though that man was doing a whole lot. But they said that man was, they said that Michelle A. was a force to be reckoned with. Now, y'all, what is all of this stuff about Busta Rhymes? Okay, let's go back. Before I leave, what is all of this foolery about Busta Rhymes? They said Busta Rhymes has really distanced himself from Diddy, but they said Busta Rhymes has a lot to do, and they said Busta Rhymes always get very sensitive when it comes to homosexuality. But baby, they say Busta Rhymes is distancing himself from Diddy. And they said Busta Rhymes did a whole lot of stuff. Ooh, they was called because it's a trans woman who used to be in the life, and she was calling the girls out. She called out Busta. She called out Eddie Murphy. She called out LL Cool J. Honey, she was calling out the girls. She was calling out the girls. It's a legend. Now, it's alleged, don't know if it's true, but it's alleged that people like them T-girls. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Well, baby, let me say this. These Diddy things, I think like, I just think a lot of people who've been involved with Diddy, because it's like that Harvey Weinstein situation. People knew who Harvey Weinstein was. Did you not know that there was references made to Harvey Weinstein at a lot of the awards show about his tactics? Mm-hmm. And y'all, let me tell you something. I listened to Eddie Murphy story, and he was on an interview show, y'all. And sometimes you got to go back and watch stuff. And Eddie Murphy said he saw a lonely girl, and he was like, "Why are you out here, doing what you're doing?" And she was crying, and he gave her a ride. That's what Eddie Murphy said. You can't take away Eddie Murphy's talent. But that's what Eddie Murphy said. And I'm like, Eddie, and his wife was out of town with the children, and Eddie Murphy was on Santa Monica Boulevard. And he thought he just saw that she was like maybe Hawaiian descent or something. And baby, I said, oh Lord, Eddie Murphy. But I saw that interview. And I'm like, ooh, this is interesting. But because we have this hypersexual, hypermasculinity, people can't be themselves, this is what they go out and do. This is why you got pastors, which is really bad, because most of these pastors are in these conservative evangelical churches, and it's really bad. So, yeah, I didn't know. He was taking a drive and wanted to be helpful. That's what he said in the interview. Child, by y'all, I didn't know that the father, Heathcliff Huxtable's father on the Cosby Show, I didn't know he was gay. And it was a documentary done on him. And he was a very nice looking, he was a very nice looking older guy. But he had a white lover. So it's going to be interesting. But I didn't know that. So the grandfather on the Cosby Show, yeah, he's Phyllis Hyman's cousin. Yeah, he had a white, same gender loving partner. I didn't know it, but they did a documentary on him and his partner. So I just thought that was very interesting. Just very interesting. Well, look, y'all, I gotta go. It's been real. Y'all take care, peace, and love, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.